What's this then? Another game that I'm going to be absolutely terrible at. So, play. Whoa. I think I've got it. Excellent. Now it's set to old person setting. Don't know what's going on there. That was pretty wild. Big score, 72. I am the champion. I don't think this has got any kind of limit to it. Go on. Game over. Oh well. Easy now, and welcome to this tutorial on making your own version of Pong. Game from the old days, that's all you need to know. Right, let's get started. So, by the end of this lesson you will know how to sense the position of your cursor, how sprites communicate with each other, and how to test your project. So, this is all based on previous lessons where we learnt that an event is a trigger or the start of something. So for example, clicking on the start flag. A loop in the code is repeated code. So for example, we use the forever loop quite often. A decision block, for example, an if block or an if then else block. These are what we call decision blocks. And then a variable is something that can change or vary. For example, in our case, the score. Right, we're going to start by drawing this incredible backdrop. Where we need to just essentially just draw a red rectangle at the bottom of the stage. So let's have a look in Scratch. I'm going to go straight to the stage, so click on that one, and then in backdrops we're just going to zoom out so I can see the whole stage, and let's just change that to red. Slide that over, take the outline off, might as well, as we're here, and then rectangle. So draw a small rectangle at the bottom of the screen, nothing too in your face, just a red line. Perfect. Okay, and then back to the presentation. We're now going to draw the paddle. It's as exciting as it looks. The only thing that we need to think about is, should we use the colour red? The answer is no, because Scratch will think that the paddle is the floor. That's all it's looking for, is the colour red. So I'm going to create a sprite, hover over the cat, click on the paintbrush, change the colour of the fill. Let's go for green. Why not? Very attractive colour. Let's have a look. Okay, and there's the paddle. Good. And back to it. So to make the paddle move, we're just going to use, when the trigger is the start flag, then we've got the forever loop, and inside the forever loop it's going to just simply sense where my cursor is, so where my mouse is, horizontally, and then make the paddle go to that position. Okay, and obviously once it's done we test it, and that's what the code looks like. Start flag, forever, set X to the mouse X. So on my paddle, not too sure about this colour. We've got events, let's have a start flag, and then in control we'll have a forever, and then in sensing we want to sense the position of the mouse, the X position of the mouse. Oh, there it is. Okay, and then in control we need to set the position. So we've got this go to XY. At the moment X is going to vary, but Y we need to know what the value of that is. So if I move this paddle to the bottom of the screen first, so it would usually be about there. Can you see the Y value has changed? So if I do that before I stick it on the stage, I know that the Y value is correct. Okay, and we'll put the X of the mouse in the X of the paddle. So if I press start now, it follows my cursor. Perfect. Okay, back to it. Next exciting, really difficult thing to do is to draw the ball sprite. And does it matter what colour the ball is? No, it really doesn't, because the ball ain't going to stick to itself, is it? So hover over the cat, click the paintbrush, the circle tool, find a really attractive colour. There you go. What's that? Some sort of pink. Grand. So circle tool, draw a circle. Yep, that seems about right. Maybe a bit too big, but we'll see. Okay, and then making the ball move. The trigger is the start flag again, and then when start flag's clicked, we're going to initialize some things. So we'll set the default. So for example, we're going to have a go to the center at the top to start, and point at the wall, just to kind of give you a bit more time before it heads at you. Okay. If we don't give it a direction to point in, it will be random direction, which makes it really hard to start the game. Well, when you're as terrible at games as me, obviously. Right, and then test it. So that's what the code looks like. So start flag, go to, and point in direction. So on my circle, I'm going to go for a start flag, and then a go to XY. But before I do that, I'm going to move the ball into the right place. So at the moment, go to XY, low numbers, stick the ball up in the air, in the middle, and go to XY has changed itself, which is good. Going to ignore that for the minute, and we need to point in the direction. So, and we'll just change that to 45. Just simply because if it was 90, it would bounce forwards and backwards across the top of the screen, which wouldn't look very good at all. Right, and then the second part of making the ball move is our friend the forever loop, and for the rest of the game, if the ball touches the edge of the screen, it bounces. If not, it moves forwards. Simple as that. So once that's done, test it, and that's what the code looks like. So forever loop, if on edge, bounce, and move. 15 is ridiculous, by the way. Well, for old people like me. So we're going to go for a forever loop. So forever, if I hit the edge, so that's sensing. So if on edge, bounce. No, that's not good. Is it in motion? There it is. If on edge, bounce, and then move forwards. Just 10 steps, please. Okay, so test that, and the ball's now bouncing around the screen. Nice. Okay, press stop. Less distracting. Okay, next. So we're now going to deal with the paddle. So if the paddles hit, I just want the ball to rebound off, really. Okay, so once the start flag is clicked, so that's the trigger, and then throughout the game I sense another repeat, and then if I'm touching the ball, then turn to a random number between these two figures. They just seemed about right, and then move forwards. and of course test it. So that's what the code looks like. Let's have a look and see. So forever. Okay, so on my paddle, oh hang on, I need to still be on the circle. Okay, so start flag, forever. I'm just going to pop back and have a look. So forever, if I'm touching the sprite hands. Let's have a look at that one. So we need an if, and then touching is sensing. So if I'm touching sprite, so we'll go that one, and just change the mouse pointer to the name of the sprite, which is sprite 2. At this point I'm going to get rid of scratch. It's just confusing things. Okay, after the if, we're going to turn to this random 180 to 200. Good. Okay. So turn clockwise to the right. Then we need, oops. Then we need some random numbers. That'll do. And that was 160 by 200. Again, just seemed like these numbers seem to work very nicely. Okay, and then I'm going to move 10 steps. Okay, let's see how that works. There you go. And I'm even able to play at a nice leisurely pace. Good. And then next, we're going with a relatively new concept here. Broadcasting is the way that sprites talk to each other. So if the ball hits the floor, the ball sprite will broadcast, essentially shout, to the rest of the sprites, something's happened. I've hit the floor, you guys do what you need to do, but it's game over. So we're going to, when the ball touches the floor, we're going to show this game over sprite and stop the game. So there's my extravagant game over sprite. That's what the code will look like. So forever, if I'm touching that colour, so this was purple, I'm going to go with red, then broadcast this message. I think I'm going to use a more explicit message than just message 1. So let's give that a go. So 1 game over sprite, please. Again, I'm going to paint it myself. And let's go with something, yeah, orange. That's file. Okay. Zoom out for a minute just so we make sure we get the whole stage. So that'll do. The white outline is the stage, so that's more than big enough. Just move it right into, move it all over. Okay, so I need game over. Here's the trick. When you click and type and you can't see anything, it's because you didn't change your fill colour. I'm going to change that to white. Okay, so we want hang on. Let's just get rid of that for a sec. Okay, so back with the text tool, click and game over. Excellent. Right, let's just resize that. So quite large with that one because that's the main bit of the notice. Yeah, it's a bit too large. So that's about as large as can be. Good. And then just instructions to continue. So it's click on this to continue. So click, to continue. Good. Right. Back out of that. Okay, go back to the ball sprite, and then with our trusty start flag, and in control another forever. So if I touch red, let's just move that out of the way for a sec. Back to my ball. So if sensing and then touch color. So if I touch color, sample the red. So sampler, and just make sure I've got the right red. Good. Okay. And then so if I touch red, I want to broadcast. So that's going to be in events. We look for broadcast. Put that in there. Press stop. So put that in there. Change message 1 to something that makes a bit more sense. New. So game over. Good. So if I touch red, broadcast game over, and then game over. So in events, so in control, sorry, have a look for stop all. Good. Right. Okay, so in this one, so all we've got to do is put in a when I receive and then show me. So in looks, we'll go for show me, but also we need to have you hidden when the game starts. So yeah, start flag and hide. Scroll down, put one of those hide things on. Let's just move this into the right place. Does that seem about right? Yeah, that's it. So press start flag and ooh, hello, game over. Click to continue. Right, that's not working. Okay, so we are going to have, so when this sprite is clicked, is this fella. When this sprite is clicked, oh, let's swap that hide out. Ta-da! Good. Start flag. Click to continue. And we've got some bouncing going on. Excellent. And it's moving slow enough that... Right, and there you go. Oh, hang on. Let's... Game over! Hooray! Right. Back to the featured presentation. Right. When it comes to testing, and I do this all the time, it's a really good idea to build a test plan, which is just literally a list of things to test. And also when you're testing, you rather than trying to play to increase your score and all that kind of stuff, you can use a slider with the variables to get the numbers that you want when you're testing. So let's just quickly have a look. So for example, if I'm going for a score, so let's go for variables and then have a score. Make a new one, so variable score. In this fella, so when, let's see, when I hit, I'm going to pick random and move forwards. I'm going to put my change score in there. So change my variable, and let's change that to score. And if I want to change the score, so have a bit of an experiment with testing, if I right click on it, I can choose the slider and I can move the score backwards and forwards, up and down. maximum 100, take that back down to 0, and return it to its normal situation. Okay, so yeah, and that's with the testing. We've forgotten the most important screen, the winning screen. So let's just do that one. Hover over the cat, let's paint a new one, and I'm going with, let's see, something. I want my colours back. There you go. Right, green, positive colour. So zoom out just so we can see the whole screen, and one square to rule them all. Yeah, you're losing it. Okay, so my text tool, let's choose black for the writing. Okay, winner, chicken dinner, of course. So make that really large. Good. I could choose a much more suitable font, but I won't yet. Okay, and what should we do? Should we have press start to continue? So press start to continue. I'm pretty sure there's some spelling in there somewhere. Oh, I got it all done. Stat. Where's the stat button? Right, press start to continue. That'll do. Right, so winner, when start is clicked, hide. So one of those, and looks one of those. Okay, so press start and it hides. But when would it arrive? When should we show it? Let's go for when the score is 100. Why not? It's not like I'm going to test it to be that. So we will have, so when start flag is clicked, hide, and then we'll have a forever. And then if, and we're going to compare the score to 100. So the comparison one is in there. So we need equal sign. Stick that in there. So 100. Okay, and then in variables, when score equals 100, then show me. So in looks, go for show. Good. So if I want to change this variable score a manual way, I can right click on it and choose slider. Then you can change your variable as you want. My winner screen wants it to be 100. So if you look in there, yeah, when score equals 100, then show the winning screen. So if I knock that up to 97, it will make the game particularly much shorter. So press play and click to continue. So I've only just got to get the last few. Hooray! And I'm the winner. And there was no other way I was going to win that game. Anyway, so you can adjust things manually that way if you want to. Oh, actually, let's just knock that back down to nothing. So that goes down, hide that one. Right, the other part of testing, so that helps you speed up your testing. The other part of testing is knocking up this test plan. So for example, here's just a list of things that need to be tested, like, I don't know, variables, or whether a screen shows or hides, that kind of stuff. Here's the column the expected result. So most things should hide. I think it's just yes all the way through that. And then for the actual result, I'll write what the result was, and then some notes next to it, just to kind of, yeah, give me some ideas about what might need to be changed or what else might need to be tested. So, test plan, list of things that you can test. I build that as I'm going along, just bit by bit. Anyway, next thing. So, I would like you to please build this game as I've shown you, and add a bit more of an imaginative ball and paddle. So I used two hands and a beach ball, with this sort of a festival audience. Right. Also, you could use a variable to control your speed. The speed comes up in two different places in this game. So uh, when you're experimenting to see what the best speed is, you need to keep changing it in two places. So I would put a variable in there, but that's just me. Okay, and then also you could put more levels in with a different backdrop for each level, a faster ball speed as the levels increase, and then lastly, put more points on. Why not? So you get more points for every time that you touch the ball, and I suggest you test it regularly. Right, so there's the game. Do with it what you will, and once you've done all that, go outside, get some sunshine, vitamin D, all that good stuff, and I shall see you next time.